friends, welcome back to the journey of Emmaus. I'm sure in the previous video you learned what is the day that these two disciples walked to Emmaus. Now let us find out what was the time that they started the journey. The entire passage is silent about the time of the journey, but still we can make a few guesses. If you follow the entire passage, it is being said, I've already said in the previous video that the entire row of the resurrection events you have already found. Now, the two disciples might have started their journey at about 3:30 to 4 o'clock in the evening. And what makes me to say that? Because in the gospel, after Jesus had spoken to them and they started explaining all that happened to Jesus, and then they continue to say that when, moreover, some women of our group astounded us, they were at the tomb early this morning. That means they already know that Mary Magdalene and some other women were there at the tomb. And then followed by, they also narrate another event, that is Peter and John, that is two of us, went there to see what exactly happened and what the women had said was true. That means they know from the testimony of Mary Magdalene. At the same time, they also know that a few disciples had gone to the tomb, saw that and came back. If they have to, analyze all these things, I'm sure that the entire morning and the afternoon they could be there. But then the problem was for these two disciples who started the journey to Emmaus, they found the Lord dead on the Good Friday. On Saturday, it was complete silence. They were broken. On Sunday morning, it's a time of confusion. Women have come back and said that the Lord is risen. And these two men who had gone, that is Peter and John, they found the tomb empty, but then they do not know because they were still at disbelief. So the entire band of disciples were confused, and it is at this time, more of being confused, it is quitting the scene for these two disciples. They just wanted to get away. Why should you need all this headache? So therefore, they want to go back. My friends, remember, in the Jewish background, it's not today that I'm talking about when all our cities are well defined, the roads are well defined, and then you have the mercury lights. You can travel any part of the day or night. It was not so at the Jewish background or in the Jewish culture. If they have to start the journey, they do not make a journey when the sun is hot. When the sun is coming down, they begin their journey. At the same time, they have to make sure that when they are going back, they are not caught up in between the journey. So that there were the dangers of wild animals or dangers of thieves. The thieves we will find in the Gospel according to St. Luke chapter 10. The Good Samaritan who was being, in the parable of the Good Samaritan, the traveler was being robbed and being beaten and left on the road to Jericho. We find that. Having proved that they cannot make a journey at night or during when the sun is hot, that means they should have begun their journey exactly maybe by around 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the evening. And remember, Emmaus is 7 miles away from Jerusalem or 11 kilometers away from Jerusalem. If you take a brisk walk, you can reach 8 to 10 kilometers in 2 hours. That means at about 6:30, 7 o'clock they are already reaching. And 7 o'clock is the time of their dinner. The Jewish culture, 7 o'clock is the time of their dinner. And when it is 6:37, Jesus acts as if he wants to go further. It is at this time the disciples say, Lord, it is almost, sun is setting down. Why don't you come and stay with us? I think now we can situate ourselves and find the time of the journey is at about 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the evening. Well, let's come back to find more details. God bless you. Amen.